Can you take yourself off mute or am I controlling that here?
I got it. Can you
There
hear
you go.
me?
There we go.
Hi,
Okay,
friends.
Christopher, we
Oh,
got it. We
good
got a
people.
group going here. We want to start
Ah,
right on time. So
let's
we're right
go.
on the button.
Let's go. First of all, my goodness, is it awesome to be around good people. Who feels me on this? Who feels me on this, right? What a week. What a week have we all had. So I like seeing some people who I respect and surrounded by love. I think it's something we need more of. And that's one of my favorite things about this business. I'm happy to be a part of this today. I'm going to kick you off by a story. I mean, I had something completely different to talk about. But I'm gonna just tell you a straight up story that happened to me today. I had some time and I was stacking wood for the winter, and I got a call from somebody who I used to be in touch with about probably 12 years ago, 10 to 12 years ago. And she is a lady in the community who is very philanthropic. She's extremely, she's a little bit older than me. She's very driven. Um, when she does anything in her professional life, she rockets to the very top. So much so that she doesn't even have a job at this point. She's just she doesn't need to work, and she's spending time with the family. Anyway, she hit me out of the blue and said, "Hey, um, I want to talk to you about something. I saw something about India on your post last week. This is a week ago. Can we talk about this?" I'm like, "Absolutely. What do you want to know?" Again, I haven't talked to her for about 10, 12 years. And I said, "Listen, well, here's what's happening. You know, we can actually have people who go into India before anybody else does. It's an incredible market, blah, blah, blah. I'm not gonna tell you what I said, because you all know all the great things about India. If you don't, definitely listen up, because India is going to be an incredible opportunity. I have been putting tentacles out for to some people about India, but I haven't hit it super super hard. I just put out a post. Okay, so we're not. I'm not saying I went out and stuck out an ad. She wants to know about this because she's always been trying to get into the Indian market, and she has a very good friend and a bunch of contacts in India, one of which lives here, who is successful, and she wants him to come into business. I asked her what he did, and she said he owns a company also in India that has a sales force, and they have two headquarters in India, one in Mumbai and one in the other. So this is not a small company, and you would never guess what this company does. They have sales forces of people who go to doctors and they sell supplements and other pharmaceuticals. Now, here's my point. I did not see this coming. I have somebody who's going to hook me up with somebody in India who's going to sign up, come to my house on Thursday, sign up, who automatically comes with a business in India that automatically has a bunch of sales force already in line going to doctors. Hello, here's my point. None of it would have happened if I wouldn't have made a post. You got to put yourself out there. You cannot expect good things to happen unless you put yourself out there. And it was just a post. And so here's what I'm trying to tell you guys. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody, but it will not happen to anybody unless you actually put yourself out there. And you know what? You may be thinking, how in the heck am I going to launch a new country? I don't know how to do it. I am clueless, but I have the great Buzz who's going to show me. Do not be afraid. Put yourself out there and see what happens. All right, Buzz, kick off this this great meeting that we're about to have, and I can't wait to hear everybody. Buzz, come on in here.
Thank you, Christopher, as always. I always appreciate Christopher because he always brings the energy. So anyway, what Christopher just told you, we're going to tie this all in because his is not the only story tonight. You're going to hear a little bit about what Maureen and I and Jolynn experienced 8.5 years ago when we started with social. I've been involved, my wife and I, for 35 plus years. So the social media has been a small part, but it was the most recent thing where we learned a whole lot of things. And so my theme tonight is creating your own momentum. And you heard what Christopher is just, and he's creating his own momentum. And I want to talk about the 3 R's. And I want you to write these down because these 3 R's are the key I think, to our success. I've been asked this question over and over the last 8.5 years. How did you figure this out, the social? And I learned over the years from the restaurant business I was in, but our business, if you want to sell product, that's wonderful. But if you want to build a business, there's a different approach. And all of us who've been doing the business love people who use the product, sell the product. They are so important. But if you want to build a business, everything changes. And what changes is you start building a team. And you're going to hear stories about this tonight. And so the first thing is recruiting, learning the art of recruiting. Second is recognition. And we learned that more when it came to social and people coming on who didn't know anything about the products, didn't know anything about the business. They weren't coming in because of the business. And we just decided that we were going to recognize those people every day like they were the most important people in the world. And you're going to hear from Tracy in a little bit. We started, my wife Maureen and Jolene, who's on this call, on March the 1st, 2017. We really didn't know what we were doing on social. But what we did know is that if we could bring on new people, what we needed to do was recognize them. And recently, the president of Global asked me on a call, well, tell me how you recruit. How do you get people on? That's not our job. And so I sent him an email, and I sent him this package of 35 pages, 1,530 names that Jolene, Maureen, and I recognized by putting a post up, by sending a handwritten note with a gift. Every one of them. That averaged 36 people a month, but I will tell you, there were some months where we sent out 150 recognitions. And we recognized everything. And I want to give kudos to Tracy and her team. When they bring a new person on, they recognize them. And we are doing that, and we need to do that, because what does that do to the new person? Because they don't know anything. It makes them feel part of the team. It makes them feel welcome. And you send it to me, and I'll put it on my story. And now all of a sudden, I'm recognizing the person that sponsored them. And it makes everybody feel good. Well, we did that on steroids, so to speak. We recognized. And what that took care of the third R, which is retention. Recruit, recognize, and then retain those people. Because Tracy knows who I'm talking about. There was one of her friends who had worked for an oil company, and her bosses were from Russia, out of Houston. And all of a sudden, she started getting all these recognition and gifts. And she said, you know what? I have worked for this company for years. And not once did they send me a birthday card, a Christmas gift, nothing, not a thank you. You know how many times I have loaded and unloaded the dishwasher? And how many times at home I have done the laundry? You know what? No one ever said thank you. But this team, Jolene, Maureen, and I, and we taught the rest of the team. And she said, I can't believe it. You people are making me feel like queen for the day every day. So let's work on this together, and you're going to watch what happens. So anyway, the last thing I want to talk about, the difference between want and need. And I learned this over the years, being taught by my parents and Maureen's parents. Nope, but Maureen, there's a difference between want and need. You know, you want to buy a Mercedes, but you need a car. Everybody's got this want and need, and it's usually money or time, or there's special needs with products. And so it's like, I'd like to go to Paris, but really what they need is to go to a park with their kids. They need a time for that. So there's so many things, and once you start understanding, in this quote that I read is, my need will be met or exceeded if I help others with their needs. Find out what their needs are. And you're going to hear tonight from different people, two of my special guests, and you're going to listen to their needs. And you will see that they had specific needs, and it was more than just one. So with that, keep this thing moving. I want to bring on Dawn Marks. Dawn is underneath Tracy. She's an amazing lady, and she's underneath Tracy. And part of what I do, it's my favorite part of doing these Rising Star calls. We did them every Monday night, Jolene, Maureen, and I, and we brought on one person, a Rising Star. And I got to interview them, ground them before. And Dawn is going, what are you doing out in Arizona? Or her son's getting married. And I said, for gosh sakes, you don't have to do the call, but she was so excited. And and it was one of the best grounding calls I had because I had told her in advance what we are going to talk about, and she just went through it. So, Don, I'm going to let you go with this here. So, just tell them what we talked about and you told me.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Buzz, for having me on. And thank you so much, Tracy, for always leading the way. So I am Dawn Marks. I'm from Louisiana. I'm a hair salon owner for 38 years. I'm not sure how because I'm only 21 years old. But I am a hair salon owner, and I have two great sons, and now two daughter-in-laws, two amazing grandchildren. The only thing, and a great husband for 32 years. But being a salon owner, I was limited. You know, my oldest granddaughter is 3.5, and she lives 4 hours from me. I didn't want that. And my daughter-in-law works for NASA, so it's not like they were moving back to Louisiana. So I saw a post. We're not even sure how, but Tracy had someone do a post, and I saw the post. And being in the salon industry, I could get my hands on anything. I mean, I have tried everything, and nothing really did anything good for me. So I'm like, okay, let me try this. Well, I tried the firming cream and the uplifting cream first, and this was 3.5 years ago, and it worked. Like it actually worked. So I was super excited. It didn't take long for me to spread the word. I come from a small community, small town. We don't even have a mayor, so it's a really small town. But I knew I worked my hair salon, so I could do this business if I truly believed in it. So I was selling firming cream and this and that. And then Tracy offered me the business. And I'm like, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know, but I'm going to try it. Okay. So that blew up. That went extremely well. Buzz, I'm going to not get emotional here, but I do want to share a story with you. You know, I built my business with, of course, Tracy leading and just going on, you know, putting out products. I'm talking selling products, posting. One thing I didn't do at the beginning was put it all over in the salon because, you know, I worked 35 years to have the salon where it's at. I didn't want to shove products in, you know, in people, but now it's all over the salon. But anyway, because I've transitioned, you know, in the last 4 years. So, I started in April of 2022. March of 2023, my dad passed away. He was 7 days on a ventilator in ICU. Well, if you're a salon owner and you own the salon, you don't get paid when you don't stand behind the chair. Okay, so I was thinking, what am I gonna do? And then I realized I had new skin to fall back on, y'all. That was the best. Taking the pressure off of me that I did not have to worry about standing behind the chair for those 7 days. And it was another 7 days after. You know, it wasn't just that. But I think that's kind of when I transitioned and said, wait, I can make a business. I can have people work with me because I absolutely love helping people look and feel better. So why not teach people to help people look and feel better? So that's kind of when, you know, it changed from skincare to the business. And from the business, you know, all you guys and girls are talking about the Prism. I'm very honest. I was about skincare because I had just turned 50 not long, and I was looking like I needed good skincare. So the skincare works fantabulous. You know, it's amazing. It's fabulous. So did the skincare, and then my mom had been having some issues and with the beginning of dementia. So I said, they've been talking about youth. Let me try youth. So put her on youth, and of course I got on youth because, you know, we have all these family traits that I don't want to be a part of. So, and I look at all of you guys who have been in U Skin. I've traveled with Brenda, you know, look at you girls who have been in here and guys who have been in here for longer than 4 years, and you guys look amazing. So I said, I'm going to get on the skincare too. So, I mean, I'm going to get on the wellness also. So now, I want to let y'all know that I had the opportunity to take the Prism home with me. Granted, I have a salon, but I couldn't get out of the salon those 5 days because my door was swinging for people wanting to scan. Because I've been teaching people, and granted, I'm a small community, y'all. I'm teaching people what antioxidants really are. Like I wasn't even aware of that. And do not judge me for not being aware of it. I was worried about having great skin, you know? So now that I'm on, when I first scanned, so I had been trying to get the scanner, you know, the number 3 scanner, and could not get my hands on it. And the Prism coming out made me so excited. So I live near Lafayette, Louisiana. I'm 6 hours from you, Buzz. If you would say you had something and I could make it, I would drive the 6 hours. I drive 4 hours to go to Houston and listen to the training calls and training presentations they have there, because I just feel that everything that I can know about the Prism, I want to know it. If we have any hair salon owners on here that want to stand behind the chair forever, go do it. I am wanting much more. I don't get paid when I don't work. I don't have leverage. When I don't cut hair, I don't get paid. You know, I'm getting older. If my grandbabies need me in Texas, I'm going. Well, then I'm not making money. But when I get there and they sleeping, I can work on my phone. I know I can do that. So building a team is my goal. You know, people come and go. Don't let that bring you down, because new people come and old people come back. I mean, I have a few right now that are like, wait, things are changing. And I'm like, you're right, but I've changed. So the leader that I was 3 years ago is not the leader that I am right now. You know, I am ready to help anybody and everybody feel their dreams. I didn't have big dreams when I first when I first joined Nu Skin, because I just worked and I worked hard. But now I've been on 3 success trips. When you go on a success trip, it is like, okay, they book your flight. When you get out of the, whatever they bring you from the airport to the resort, it's literally red carpet. Like, it is great. It is great. And I've seen a lot of you that are on here on the success trips. And it's so great to see people just keep coming back and coming back. So don't ever think that just because things are slowing down at some point, it might have been me that was slowing down, but I'm not anymore, Buzz. Watch it, Buzz. I'm coming.
Well, I've been watching you, and that's why I invited you. So thank you, Dawn. I'm just going to hit some of her high points, because when I was talking to her, I said, oh my gosh. First off, people are going to ask what product she was taking. It was firming cream and uplifting cream. The other point that she made, she didn't know Tracy. Tracy didn't know her. The idea is put it out there. Christopher talked about, get your name out there, get whatever it is, because you don't know what those people's needs are. And you talked about your need. You needed time with your dad as he was passing away. I mean, that's a need. And you're working a business for 35 years that if you don't show up, you make no money. So there again, money and time. She's got grandkids. She wants time. So you can see how we are filling that. She was looking for a firming cream that we, for your chest.
Yes.
And yes. And so there was a need. So this is what I love about what we're doing, is fulfilling that need. And in the Prism, I'm just going to say this. I asked her if it was okay. She started out in the red. And anybody who doesn't know yet, but that's the lowest you can go. It's at risk. And she's now at blue. We're talking
the first
about,
notch in blue, but I'm
it's
moving
first
on up.
notch, but I'm telling you that being in the blue is exactly where you want to be. There's a couple of stages above, but you are at the top there. So congratulations. So this is what's happening. and she's realizing that she has a need for not just beauty, but for wellness. So you hit some of the greatest points. Thank you so much, Don. I appreciate you being on this call. And it was the right decision to get you on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Buzz. And tell Maureen hello.
I will. She's with the grandbabies tonight, but she'll be back next week or next time. Okay. So now what I want to do is I'm going to turn it over to Tracy to keep this thing moving here. We talked about recognizing people. How could we do it? And Tracy had this idea. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I trust Tracy.
Well, it's nothing crazy big because I could not figure out how to put music to it. But one of the things Buzz mentioned is recognition. And, we're moms, we're dads, we're all doing things. And we don't get, thanked for getting to ballet on time and doing the dishes and doing the laundry. And I will tell you, I was on that list of recognition that I would get and gifts that I would get. And I can't tell you how it made me feel so wanted and appreciated. And we don't get that anymore. And that is what I think most of us love about this community is that we feel loved, and there's days when you need it more than ever. And so I wanted to red carpet. Okay, imagine that we are having you come out and you get to walk on a red carpet and you're being recognized. And so we have a few people that hit some pin titles this month and we want to recognize you. So if you see your name and you want to wave, we would love that. I don't see everybody on here, but I'm going to go ahead and Buzz, you'll need to give me ability to share or some. Did you? Okay, great. All right. Okay, here we go. All right. So if Janet Jenkins is on, give us a wave. Congratulations, Janet. We are so proud of you for hitting brand representative. And if you all want to give a little clap so we can see that. We also have Dana Young. She hit brand representative. Congratulations, Dana. And Connie, if you were on the call, Connie, wave. We want to recognize you for also hitting brand representative. And Tammy Sobotka, I hope I said that right. Congratulations for hitting brand representative. And Roberta Blondin, she is also a brand representative. And Joy Combs, brand representative. And last but not least, we have Melissa Loba as qualifying brand rep. So you guys, this is huge. And just so if you're new, becoming a brand rep is a pretty big deal. That is our first level of leadership. And I want to give you a fact. This is not from me. This is from Nu Skin. When you become a brand rep, okay, that's that first level of leadership. In 10 years, okay, if you stay a brand rep and you never quit and you hold your pin title, you will either become a $1 million earner, Circle of Excellence, or you will have hit Blue Diamond Director, which makes about $40,000 a month. So my question for you, if you're on here, what are you doing with the next 10 years of your life? Because the last 10 years, I guarantee you, you didn't make $40,000 a month and you didn't have an opportunity to become a $1 million earner with Nu Skin. So Buzz, back to you. Congratulations to you all. Next month, let's double it because we have Prism.io that is going to be given to brand reps December 1st. So not only do you want one, but how many brand reps are you going to have on your team who get one? That's the question. So once you start thinking of that, as we get for our next highlight, and I'll come back at the end and I want to know, what is your number? How many prisms are you going to have on December 1st on your team? Buzz, back to you.
Thank you, Tracy. All right. Well, congratulations to those. Now, our second special guest is Karen Barnett, and she's from Florida, well, originally from Alabama, and that's where she is right now. So Karen, we had a great call on Monday. I loved it. So I'm just going to let you run with it, and I'll recap once we get through it. All right? Go ahead, Karen. You need to unmute yourself. There you go.
Hey, I'm sorry. I am sitting in a hotel lobby. Um, I am excited. I appreciate it, Buzz, for letting me be on. I have been with the company 3 years. I'm a retired teacher. I taught kindergarten, first grade, and third grade for 30 years. And saw some firming cream online. A girl that I knew posted it for somebody that I did not know. And I just saw the before and afters, and I had a lot of sun damage from because I'm a sun person and from on my chest and my thighs. And I was like, I'm going to try this. So I got it and I was consistently using it and started seeing such a huge difference that I was like, I'm going to, you know, get with this company so I can sell it, not sell it, so I can buy it at cost. That's why I got in it. I just wanted to get the firming cream every month at cost. And so the girl that actually signed me up said, well, why don't you do this post? So I started posting. My first post, I think I sold 18 firming creams because that's what I posted about because that's what I used. So it just kind of blew up from there. I am trying to build a team. The whole first year, I just sold product. Second year, I started trying to build a team. This year, I'm really focusing on the health part of it, just like Dawn just said. I have had my hands on the prism the past few days. I have scanned 25 people. I have already started about 5 of those on a subscription for LifePak Nano just because they saw their score and they're like, oh no, and they're healthy people. They exercise, they take supplements that are obviously not working and eat, pretty well. None of them could tell me that they eat enough fruits and vegetables. But anyway, I'm blown away by this. My mom had Alzheimer's. My only brother died of cancer. So the more I'm learning about the antioxidants and how we need them, I'm just so excited about this level also. So, and I am really, I came in under social and now I'm really trying to work with offlining too. I met with a spa today. I signed up the owner of the spa. I signed up the spa. I signed up every worker there under the spa to sell. So, and that was just me going in there talking to them. So I am so excited right now. This is the perfect time, to be with this company. And I just feel like I wish I'd have known, 20 years ago, 30 years ago about this company, and I would have retired from teaching a long time ago because as a teacher, teachers don't make anything. So when I retired in 2020, I was making half the amount I made as a teacher, which I was already not making a lot of money. But I mean, I love teaching and I don't regret it. I love children and, it was fun. But in the 3 years I've been in New Skin, it's made up the difference in my retirement check that I get from the state plus. And so I'm just praying that my husband can retire in the next year or so. We can travel more. I'm just so excited about all the opportunities right now. So thank you for
So,
having me on,
Karen,
Dennis.
Karen, do you have the prism there that you have it handy?
I don't. I mean, it's in my room. You want me to ring
Oh,
get it? I'm
no,
sorry.
okay, no.
I came in from a
I
meeting with
I know.
new people like 5 minutes before we got on. So I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No. Don't be. It's just that it's neat to see someone who gets the prism for the first time and the energy and the excitement.
And I got a blue one. I was so excited
Yeah,
because
yeah.
when I went to Utah for the first time a year and a half ago, I told my husband, I said, we need to start on some of the supplements. So we started on LifePak Nano, both of us did a year and a half ago. And then I started the new biome. And we both take the collagen. Then I started on youth about 6 months ago. So when I scanned and got a blue one, I was just like, yay. And I'm ready to get that purple 3 like you a few days.
Yes.
So
Well, let me and Karen, thank you so much. I just want to hit some of the high points that you talked about. See, remember I said there's want and need? She needed more money. And she wasn't looking to get rich. She's got a master's degree in the teaching. God bless teachers, especially ones of little children, and they're underpaid. And then all of a sudden, her income cut in half after 30 years. So she was just looking to fill that. That was her need. The other thing is she wanted more time. She didn't want to do something that was going to take away all of her time with her husband and being able to travel. She's been on success trips. So anyway, and then what she's doing now, she's not abandoning social, the high tech. I call it a hybrid. She's blending them together because even you heard from Christopher. That India lead came from his post on social. Now, of course, there was already a relationship, but what's amazing, you look at Don and Karen. They didn't really know the people that they ended up being sponsored under. If somebody took action, was proactive, and we always say that someone's waiting for something, somebody's watching. So Karen, I listened to you yesterday when we talked and thought, man, you had just such a great story, and I think you two tonight, Don and Karen, represented the kind of people we attract, and the type of people that you are attracting. And so one last thing, and I'm going to turn it over for Tracy to close it out. What was Don talked about when the switch went on, when it went from selling products to where I want to do the business. When and what caused that switch to go on?
I think it's when I just learned more about the company and what I wanted to do. And I think when I was in Whistler, I talked to someone and I don't even know who it was, what her name was. She was a team elite and we were talking and she said, once you realize that you're not selling products, you're selling the company. And so it's just talking to her and just like, you know, that's true. And she had kind of gotten some background and she was like, I know you're a person that likes to help people because you're a teacher. So, and she said, just imagine how many people you could help, with their lifestyle. And, she was explaining, you'll find some that just won't, like you said, buy the products and, be more healthy, be prettier, whatever. But then there are some people that want to make more and are the people that you want in your business. And I've learned, the past few years, picking who I want on my team is the most important because building relationships with those people is what's going to cause the retention. And so I just, like I said, it's a learning process and I try to absorb anything and everything that I can from anybody. Anybody that I can listen to, that's what I try to do.
You're not just a good teacher, but you're a good student.
I
So,
appreciate
all
it.
right, Karen, thank you so much. And
You're
Don,
so welcome.
Tracy, you're going to close it out.
All right. Well, if you guys are inspired, I don't know what you're living under a rock because there is so much goodness going on. And if things haven't been where you want it to be, you are the one that can change it. And so there's a couple of things that I want to end with. So I'm kind of like some calls to action for you. When Buzz mentioned being a hybrid, I've been a hybrid for a few years now, because when I go out in places, I just find ways to connect. And this is, if you think about this, this is the long game. If you know that you're going to do this for the long game, that you are in this forever, that you're not just trying it out, that you'll just see how it goes, that you've committed to this business for the long term, that when you're out talking to people, it can be a slower process, versus social. They go hand in hand. I bring people that I meet outside to my social and I bring my social people that I bring offline. So I combine them. And I have connected with some amazing people that have joined my team here recently. We have some amazing things happening. But if you're feeling like, man, things aren't really going the way I want, or I've had a slow first of the year, I've had a slow month, you can change that with how you think and how you feel and how you show up. That to me, it's like that choice is yours and no one can take it from you. Is it going to be easy? There's a lot of uncomfortable days, but it is not hard. Every single one of us on this call have been through hard times. We've been through death. We've been through sickness. We've been through divorce. We've been through really, really hard times here in this last week where our core has been shaken, but no one can take away from you what you truly believe in. And if you believe that this will happen, you have to have inspired action to go and make it happen and talk to every single person you know. And just know that you're going to get told no. What I tell my girls, I'm like, how many no's did you get today? Because if you did not get a no, you did not talk to enough people. And so, and then my last thing is the vision. What is the vision that you hold for what is going to happen with Prism? Like, I have goosebumps right now because we are going to change so many people's lives. I love the skincare, but I'm going to tell you right now, to have the ability to help families going all the way to our children. Cancer is 1 in 300 right now for children's cancer. Dementia is on a rise, and we have the opportunity to help so many families be healthy again. And so I want you to think of your vision. How many prisms are you going to have? I asked you to write a number down. You need to know your number. If it's just 1, that is not enough. If it's 2, go bigger. You need to have such a big number so that when you're out talking to people about what's coming, that number sticks out in your head, because December 1st will be here before we know it. So write your number down, put it everywhere on your mirror, by your computer, in your car, tell your upline, tell everybody how many prisms you're going to have. Because this is going to be, and I've been calling it the GOAT. It is the greatest opportunity of all time for you to have such an impact on your family, your friends, your community, and then it can go outside globally. I mean, of course, Buzz and Paula and Mark and Jolynn, and I think Brenda's, they've been through seeing what happens when you can open up countries. Some of us, we've never done that. And now we get to be a part of that. Hallelujah. How exciting. So back to you, Buzz.
Okay. Good night, everyone. I hope that you got a lot out of this, and we'll be sending out a recording of it. Okay. Have a great evening. Thank you, everyone, for showing up, and thank you for the presenters. Good night.
Thank you.